What's up YouTube? Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys a quick video, talk about a few things that are going on in the tech world. We've got the LG V20 that was just announced tonight. I want to give some thoughts on that. We've got the Galaxy Note 7 recall. A lot of people have asked me if I'm returning my Note 7, my Note 7s. I have multiple of them, plural. Am I returning those? I'll talk a little bit about that. We got the iPhone 7 event coming up tomorrow. I'll give you some of my thoughts on that. But before I do any of that, I want to talk about a big giveaway. I've teamed up with a bunch of other YouTubers, Android file hosts. Once again, you guys know I've done a ton of giveaways with these guys. Always like to team up with them. This time, a couple of the big prizes. We've got an Xbox One Halo 5 Guardians Edition. We've also got an NVIDIA Shield, the TV set-top box for Android TV. And then I'm giving away a OnePlus X, the phone, as well as the bamboo case that I bought that came with it. We've also got a couple other phones, Honor 5X, couple new mobile phones, Xiaomi phones. We've got an Amazon Echo, tons of prizes, way too many for me to list in the video. I'll drop the link below. You guys know how it works. Subscribe to our channels. Follow us on the various social media things. You get an entry to win. It's going to run for, I think, another 10 days. I'm a little late posting the giveaway, so I'm sorry to everybody out there. I know some of you probably already subscribed for the giveaway. It's going to run for about another 10 days. All the details will be below, and then we'll have a winner that's drawn by Android file host. Roy over there, he sends out the list to us, and then we get in touch with the winners. All right, so I want to get that out of the way up front. Next, I want to talk about three big events sort of that have been going on in the tech world. I might briefly touch on IFA, but there's kind of a lot of stuff with that, so I might sit that in a different video. First, I want to talk about the Galaxy Note 7 recall. Of course, that's a big deal for everybody. I've got two Galaxy Note 7s here still. You guys remember my T-Mobile version. I got the Snapdragon 820 from T-Mobile in the coral blue. You can see my Slick Wraps X Spigen case there. Got Wolverine on there. And then here I've got my new Exynos version that I ordered off Amazon. I haven't actually done a video on this yet. I will very, very soon. It's got a brand new carved case right there. You guys see the Cobra in red. It looks really, really sick. I am going to do a video on this case very soon. I love how it looks with the black. So I've got both of these phones. I'm planning on making a video with my experiences on the Exynos. A lot of people have asked me, am I going to send these back for the recall? Of course I'm going to send them back because it doesn't make any sense not to. I'm going to hang on to my phones until I can get a replacement, especially the one from T-Mobile. I already put myself on the list to get a replacement for my T-Mobile variant. So if you haven't put yourself on the list yet, you can head over to T-Mobile's website. I'll put a link below. You can type in your email. They'll contact you when one is ready. I also went to my local store. They did the same thing, so I put my name on the list twice. Hopefully I get a replacement soon. But until then, I'm just charging my phone wirelessly, which sort of mitigates the risk in my opinion. Now that being said, I'm still not wirelessly charging it near my bed or near myself. I'm also not going to hold it while it's charging, doing anything crazy like that whatsoever. So other than that, I'm using the phone, just taking some precautions, not charging it with fast charge, using my wireless charger. And so far, I haven't had any issues with this one. Also, the T-Mobile ones were made in China. So some of the good batteries, the ones that Samsung used that were in the 30% of the phones that don't have the issue, those were made in China. So it's possible that a lot of the T-Mobile ones have less chance of having a bad battery. Again, we don't know what the issue is. It could be some impurities in the lithium that's used to make the battery, which would mean that even wireless charging is not going to mitigate the risk. If it's the protector circuit that's in the battery that stops it from overcharging, then you might mitigate your risk somewhat by using wireless charging. But I'm using mine. Obviously, I'm going to return it as soon as they have stock. I just don't want to be without the phone. I'm going to return it and get the same exact one. I've got a little scratch on the back and on the front, as I mentioned, Gorilla Glass 5. So I highly recommend you take advantage of the recall. Might as well get a brand new phone. And hey, if I want to, I can take the case off right now. I've been using it naked sometimes during the day. I can rock the phone naked, just enjoy the feel of it because I don't have to worry about catching any scratches. I'm going to get a new phone anyway. All right, so again, I have something coming up on the Exynos. My overall experience, I can tell you, just in a short, sort of concise way, this phone, less lag, slightly better battery life on T-Mobile, but much better battery life on AT&T. So it could just be an issue with the T-Mobile network, which some people suggested. I'll talk more about that in this video. The next thing is the LG V20. That event, I just finished watching that before I sat down to make this video. I want to talk really quickly about it. Now, I think LG missed an opportunity here, mainly because they didn't announce exact pricing and availability. They just said Q3, which is actually by the end of this month, September, ends Q3. But they could have gave exact availability and pricing That would have given them a chance to scoop up some of the people who are going to return the Note 7 that might want to go ahead and grab a different phone. But I think they're going to lose out on that opportunity by not announcing the date. Also, this phone does look much better than the G5 in my opinion. One thing that's a little disappointing is that they only went with the 3200 milliamp hour battery. A lot of rumors were coming out that you were going to have a 4000 milliamp hour battery in there. That seemed way too good to be true to me, and it looks like it was because they announced in the event 3200. Now you do have a removable battery, which means you can swap it in and out. That's always a big deal, and a lot of people are going to continue rocking with LG because they want that removable battery. It's the only place you can get it really in the big Android manufacturers right now, and obviously you don't get it with Apple. So if you want a removable battery, that's the way to go. The other demographic that this phone really appeals to are those people who want great video and great photography features. So many great video and photography features. It's impossible to go through the entire list here. Once I actually get the phone, I'll go through them. But all the great stuff you got from last year with the V10, manual video recording. Now you've also got a dual camera. You've got wide lenses on the back and the front, so you can get those ultra wide selfies, everybody in the shot. You can take a picture within the video. You've got new electronic image stabilization that's built in with the Snapdragon 820 that's added into the V20 with all that other great manual video recording. In addition to all those great video features, you also have the new quad DAC, which is really, really impressive. They worked with some special audio manufacturers to get this great audio output. Should be even better than the V10. People loved it for its audio quality and its video and photography capability. So if you're really into audio, you're really into taking video and taking photos with your smartphone, editing those, having manual controls, that's really going to appeal to that demographic. Of course, we've got Nougat out of the box on the V20. That's a big deal in some ways, but in some ways it's not, because some of the big features of Nougat aren't actually coming until maintenance release 1, which is expected to ship with the Nexus, which we now expect to be called Pixel phones this year. So Nougat being on the V20 to me is not really that big of a deal. There are some new features which you can take advantage of, like for instance the split screen multitasking. But of course we've had that on some of the Nexus devices for a while. That maintenance release of Nougat is going to be the big features that we expect to get. Probably Allo, some of the other things that were announced at Google I/O. So overall, the V20 of course looks like a nice phone. I'm going to bring it into my lab. We're going to check it out, see what it's all about. I think it's going to appeal to a very specific demographic again. I don't see it have the widespread appeal of something like the Galaxy Note 7 or the iPhone 7. I don't see LG competing with Apple or Samsung, and I don't see them cutting into any of those Note 7 returns. The final thing is the Apple iPhone 7 event. So you guys know I'm an Android guy, of course, but of course I'll be watching the iPhone event tomorrow. Apple's expected to basically have an incremental update on a whole number increment, so not an S model for the first time ever. So we go from 6S to 7, but we're not getting a major redesign because of the 10th anniversary of the iPhone next year. We do have a few interesting things, including the dual cameras in the iPhone 7 Plus or the Pro, whatever they want to call it. We got a few new color options, which is like a space blue. It's like a darker version of space gray that looks almost like a blue hue to it. And then a glossy piano black color has been rumored the last few days, which looks really, really interesting to me. To be honest with you, other than the actual new color, which piano black sounds really cool, I'm not that hyped about the iPhone. It, of course, is going to be smooth. Everyone keeps saying it's going to be smoother than most Android phones running the 820. That's probably true. But my main issue with iOS is it lacks the customizability. And, you just can't do whatever you want with that OS, whereas you can with Android do a lot more. So for me, it's going to be a great phone, of course. For all the people who are Apple fans, you're going to love it. I'm going to pick up the phone, do some comparisons. I expect it to be blazing fast. I expect the camera to be great as usual. Not super big fan of the no headphone jack. Not really a fan of it on my Moto Z Force Droid or my Moto Z. So I'm sure that's going to be the same with the iPhone 7. It'll be interesting to see how Apple handles that. Will they include an adapter in the box? Are they going to go with the wireless headphones, Bluetooth headphones in the box? I definitely expect to see some new Beats headphones announced tomorrow with Lightning capability, of course, and more Bluetooth headphones to give people some options to take care of that no headphone jack. So otherwise, should be a great event tomorrow for the iPhone. I'll be watching. Follow along with me on Twitter. Again, those are my thoughts on the recall for the Note 7 LG V20. If you guys have any other questions, please shoot me a comment below. You can find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter. The link's in the description. I appreciate you guys like and subscribe this video if you enjoy my content so I can bring you future videos like this. I've got a lot more Note 7 coverage coming up. Going to post the Exynos video. Then once I get the new ones in, I'll do some updated videos and a lot of case videos. It's a really busy time of the year, so I appreciate you guys checking out my content. I know you have a lot of options out there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.